Hi everyone, it's Ayesha here from God FM, and I want to talk about the microwave lights today. So, the microwave lights, if you're a targeted individual, then you're going to have backache, neck ache, bum ache. You're going to have cooking. Literally, you're going to feel your feet being boiled. You're going to have your vagina and your willy cooked and your bum cooked. Your brain's going to be cooked, and you're going to have ringing in your ears, which is a combustion, if you like, from the swelling of the brain. But also, it is a frequency that is being emitted into your ears through the microwave technology. So, for this, maybe I should put the microwave on. What do you think, Lord? No. But, okay, if we put the microwave on, it makes a fan noise, doesn't it? It goes, I know, it's just going round. And then it goes, ping, when it's ready, right? Okay. So it has a set of frequencies that are inbuilt into what it is and what it emits, okay? So when it's cooking, the fan tells it it's cooking. Okay. And the only way you would really tell it was cooking is when you take the food out, because you can't see it cooking from the inside out. And this technology of the microwave lights is the same. And it's the street lights, but it's also predominantly the neighborhood. So there's a combination of things, if you're a targeted individual, for you to feel the effects of the lights. So what I've established is they have to get the nano into you. So this is where the gassing comes in, the poisoning of the food and the poisoning of the water, the home invasions, and then the sprinkling of the stuff onto you as well in the public areas outside. And then they also do stuff in the water of your vehicles. They mess with the Bluetooth. And they synchronize everything. Okay, so a microwave is a box with a light. And then if you look inside the box behind, where you cook, and you take the microwave apart, what's inside is a transformer type box, which is like an amplifier. And a set of magnets and some wires. And then it's also got some sort of metal-y things, which are like cone-shaped, which funnel it's like got a little twirly bit of copper, which amplifies it, I suppose. And it's a bit like the Tesla type technology, which takes it from a little sort of just a standard current into something different. And decides that now this is going to cook. And so basically you've just got some wires and some magnets and a box thing and a light. So the light on a microwave is no different, if you look at it, to a normal light. It doesn't look any different. It just looks like a light. Yeah? In fact, it's slightly yellowy light sometimes and whiter light sometimes. Okay, so what makes the microwave a microwave is its box, and if you take the box away, then it's unsafe, isn't it, right? But what if I could turn your house into a microwave? Yeah. So if I turned your fridge into the box thing that's in the microwave, which becomes now an amplifier, a condenser, and I can now also do new wiring around your home and plumbing. Right, now your fridge is your fridge. It can be also made so that the house becomes freezing cold, and it can also be used as an amplifier, and it can also be tuned into the washing machine, which I've already talked about, being a little mini type of CERN machine, which sounds a bit like helicopters when it's near a radio in my house anyway. So if you wanted to, you could turn the house into a microwave. If we did this as a project at school, all right, just imagine, right? We turn the fridge into that little box thing, and then we put in instead of a magnet, maybe we'll put in a battery somewhere, and we'll hide it somewhere in the house in the wiring, and we'll connect it to the inner wirings of the circuit, of one of the circuits, or two or three, and then we'll connect it to the neighbor, and we'll plumb in new plumbing with the nano in the water for the heating and for the hot water supply, because it's now activated once it's heated up. Okay, so this is a project in your mind. Okay, so the house, let's say it's a 2 up, 2 down, or 1 up, 1 down, 1 bedroom house. You can do it on a ground level as well. And you've got the fridge in one section, which is now part of the microwave, and the light normally comes in from the side of the microwave, doesn't it? So a bit like a window of your house, yeah? All right then. So this is the technology that they're using. And so when they point the light at your house, you're the microwave. You're in the microwave. And you're becoming familiar, if you like, your biological makeup is becoming familiar with the microwave environment. It's getting to know you. So, like a current flowing up and down a river will change course if you put rocks in the way. So, your blood flow is affected by the frequencies of a microwave. And if you're being cooked, then obviously your blood gets congealed. And the nano inside you is also becoming very comfortable with the microwave frequencies that are now going around your house, because the neighbor's pointing a cooking microwave light at you that is attached to the wiring that they've wired into your home. Okay. And this is why there has to be home invasions. And this is also why they have to take over your electrics and your home network, because they will synchronize it with anything Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, like fire alarms and lights, because lights are Wi-Fi and sound, to activate it all through frequency, and the aerials, because they're going to be able to switch it on, and they'll synchronize it with the TV. I found the way they hack me is through the TV. If my phone is nearby, and somebody is in the vicinity of me who knows my number, they can get into the TV and into my phone. Maybe that's because the wiring has been intercepted. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I found. So, it's, for me, it's on a limited use by what's needed basis. TV's not on unless I want to watch a movie, and usually the phone goes off at the same time. Otherwise, I've got problems. So, if I don't know if you watched that. Is it Ace Ventura? There was a film about aerials, and it was the aerial guy. It was called The Aerial Guy. And he was hacking people, and he was like going into a virtual world and all this kind of thing, right? And it was kind of creepy. So it's a bit like that, but much more advanced. And this technology has existed for quite some time. And with all the 5G and the lights and the camera lenses, like I say, they can also burn images with the light, which now also can act as a lens, a laser, to burn images onto your mind, and use your phone as an interface. But also your TV can be used as an interface, and magic mirrors. The image can be burnt onto your mind outside of your home, but predominantly it's inside, and it's a combination of things like this. So I'm still learning, so I try and explain it. You got the shaking of the bed, and then you've got the light. The light's pointed at you with the frequencies of the aerials and the sounds. This is key of a fan sound normally, because when you're burning a CD or writing an image onto a DVD or onto a USB to rewrite a whole computer, you have to burn an image. And this has a fan in the computer to cool it down. Why does it have a fan in the computer to cool it down? Because this process makes it very hot. And so the fan, if you notice, there's a fan inside the microwave also. So people who are pointing microwave lights at you and microwave lasers have to have fans in the background to cool whatever the process is that they're using. And it also stimulates the nano, and it gives you headaches as well. And it's part of the rewriting, because it's also vibration. When this first started, I was surprised to find that people jumping up and down near me would activate all this stuff in the house. And I had some students, and they would always jump up and down, and they thought it was funny, and they were doing sport and whatever in the lounge. And I was like, nah, sorry. If you want to do sport, you need to go outside and do sport. Because I started to notice that everything started vibrating around the house after they were jumping around. And I just thought, nah, you can go outside and do that. But I've come to know that that was part of activating the stuff as well. Now, Jesus tells us that the windows to our soul are our eyes, and our eyes are the windows, and that the burglar will come through the window while the master's away, and to look after the master's house, because when the burglar comes, you have to bind the strong man. Yeah. So you have to bind the strong man. So this is where I think that he's saying about the spiritual warfare. I will do some more study on it to try and understand it more. But when you're under full-time attack, it's very hard to study the Bible. And so I wanted to just share my thoughts about the lights with you. Because I think that the lights are the key element. So if you're feeling a burning in your bum, like when you're sitting down, this is because they are microwaving you, literally cooking you alive. I don't know why there's no regulator or anybody to regulate, to monitor these weapons, which are more dangerous than a gun. Much more dangerous and accessible as well. These are easily homemade items. I can make a microwave weapon quite easily. All I need is a microwave, and I just take off the box, and then I would get a satellite type dish, and then I could point it at my neighbor and cook my neighbor alive, like they cook me alive. Do you understand? So I'm surprised, like with children, when they go to school, they always make sure they've got no knives with them in case they hurt someone. No guns as well, in case you hurt someone. But anyone can own a microwave. And anyone can take a microwave apart and turn it into a microwave weapon, like me. I could turn it into a microwave weapon and cook my neighbors. In fact, I could do quite a lot more damage than that as well. So this is why I'm surprised there isn't anybody testing for frequencies and radiation, and whether people are doing this to their neighbors or doing them just to their ex-wives or ex-husbands or just to people they don't like. Stalkers, if you think about it, this is a perfect weapon to use on ex-partner or someone. But for a gang stalking operation, and I have come to think that the gang stalkers are the grim reapers of the Bible. And it made me think of Boaz and the grim reapers that he talks about with Ruth. And he told Ruth to stay with the reapers while the harvest was going on. And Boaz kind of reflects what Jesus is as well, in a way. So I'm wondering if that's why we've all got to go through this sort of grim reaper section, which is pretty awful. So what can you do about the microwave weapons? I believe that you can find, there's got to be devices that will home in on the frequencies. I know I'd spoken to someone else who was able to do that. He was able to triangulate where the frequencies were coming from, and he issued proceedings against the neighbors. So you can do it that way. You've got to understand that these microwave weapons can be pointed at you from quite a long range away. And they can do it with the neighbor's lights, but also they can do it with any light and amplify the frequency. If all the wiring's in the right places, then any light nearby would really become a microwave if they've got the right wiring attached and it's connected up to it all. So this is why you're suffering. So when you're sitting there and you're a targeted individual and there's someone sitting next to you and they're not feeling the frequencies and the vibrations, this is because your brain lets off an IP address, but mostly it's your phone. And I found that they hack you through maps and camera and location. And in this way, they can triangulate where you are with the telephone masts, which they've also hijacked. I mean, this is an MI5 level criminal event. I don't know why MI5 haven't got involved. We've been taken over. All of the telephone networks have been taken over by a very, very dangerous criminal trafficking network that are trafficking innocent people across England and across the world. And they have also taken over BT, OpenReach, and they've fitted little boxes. They've fitted things in the drains, unmarked vans all the time doing these things. It's, it's got to be high-end government, or it's happening and the government are just oblivious because the left arm doesn't know what the right arm's doing. But from my point of view, there needs to be someone to recognize the crimes. And if they're not recognizing it and they're denying that this technology exists, then they're committing the crimes. It has to be. And, I think that we will have to do something about it. Chop all the lights down. And shut down this whole operation all in one go. Because if everybody's drinking and breathing the stuff and they switch the lights on and they triangulate where you are, people are going to be cooked alive at a world level event. But from what I understand about this technology, it's damn dangerous. And if you've got the graphene inside you and the nano and it's constructed, literally, people are going to explode. This meningitis with the eyes exploding with red blood cannot just be that. It's from this stuff. And I reckon it's exploding in people's brains. I do think it's damn dangerous what they're doing. And if you're a targeted individual, the technology's there to literally cook your veins inside your blood and take over your immune system, your central nervous system up your back, because they take over the claustrum, and the Christos oil and the central nervous system, and then they take over the pineal and your brain functions, which control all of your body matrix. And you can cause someone to have a numb back and area when they're having a baby with an epidural. So with a laser weapon pointed in the right place, you can really do some damage. So they're going for the bottom of the spine mainly. And this is through the toilet with the graphene and whatever. So, as I've already said, if you're a targeted individual, you can't use your toilet. You have to shield yourself from your own toilet, put a bin liner inside it and empty it when you're done, or get a bucket and start using a bucket instead, and then you can always put it in the toilet when you're done, but you can't expose yourself to drains or water that you can't switch off. You can't shut down or close off toilet pipes. And the drains are the main place where they're putting all these battery things. They're putting wires for 5G down there and other wiring. People have smelled gas. There's lots of gas pipes. There's really, really big soil pipes. I mean, massive ones being put in. And it's just a larger version of what's happening to targeted individuals, because they do all these modifications in my home with larger soil pipes. Like in my old house, I found loads of new soil pipes in the loft and loads of plumbing pipes. And I was like, wonder why there's so many new pipes here. And I didn't know why. But I also found a decanter, which they'd obviously used to decant the nano into the water. And I believe they did this into this hot water. And this is what causes the ringing. But it's activated through the fridge. The ringing and everything. So I found anyway. I'm, as I say, not an expert. I'm still learning. But these are the things I found, and it might help you. Okay? So if you're a targeted individual, I recommend that you get yourself some microwaves that have been broken. Start taking them apart. Learn about microwave technology. Find out all about it. And do some home studies on it. And maybe some experiments with it. Since nobody is going to regulate it, maybe we need to find out what these things can do, maybe with a laser attached, and we could have our own little experiments with microwave. I mean, there must be some young boys who want to work out how to defend themselves from their mind and their soul being stolen from them. So maybe it's going to be a bit like the Star Wars films, where you got lasers and you can point them. I believe we've already got that technology. They just haven't really released it to us. I like to learn about things. I mean, if you realize that all of our technology, the makers of it, the manufacturing is all in China and Japan. Nobody knows how to make a TV or a phone. Why not? Why don't we learn how to do that? And how difficult is it to make a circuit? How difficult is it to create a chip? How difficult is it? How do you do it? Why is the SIM card something you can put in your phone and suddenly it's got a number and it connects to your network with this tiny little piece of plastic? Because I want to understand it. I did leave school early, so, maybe they taught that in school. But again, I think this is the kind of thing that our children need to be learning at school. How do radios work? How do you tune into different frequencies? How to use ham radio? This kind of thing. How does a telephone work? How many wires does a telephone have? How many wires do your electric have? what is wireless technology? You haven't got any wires. How do I have a conversation with someone on the phone? How do I record something here today and then upload it wirelessly to all these different platforms? How does this all work? We need to understand it if we're going to use it, because it's dangerous as far as I'm concerned. And Bluetooth is another one. Bluetooth is so hackable. Anyone can hack you through Bluetooth. And it amazes me how everybody's got their Bluetooth on. It's crazy, it is. Anyway, it's Ayesha from God FM, and I'm talking about microwave lights and how they work. If you point a laser light at someone, it's a criminal offense. You go to jail for it. So if you're a targeted individual, all you have to do is prove what laser lights and where they're coming from, and then issue proceedings. You can go for a civil action and then criminal action. That's what I think. I don't know if the police will ever do anything. Let's just hope they do, because it's damn dangerous. It's more dangerous than guns and knives. Alright, it's Ayesha from God FM. If you want to find me, you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, as well as TikTok and Telegram as God FM News, God FM New, God FM Radio, and God FM Group, and God FM Media. You can email me, admin@godfm.org.uk, and you can WhatsApp me, +44 777 35 77788. Thank you. Take care.